What's up everyone? Today we are taking a look at the biggest fashion trends for Spring-Summer 2025. As you may remember, last season was all about wearability, masculine coats and classic dressing. This season, however, the fashion industry has gravitated towards summer and holiday-inspired themes, emphasizing looseness and a sense of ease. Additionally, menswear designers are allowing men to express themselves more freely and embrace their sexuality. This season, we are seeing bold colors, innovative materials, and an abundance of patterns, along with a workwear and preppy-inspired styles. Buzzwords like DIY mindset, repurposing, and recycling garments are also prominent as the industry strives to reduce fashion waste. As is often the case, many old trends have taken on new faces and names. Retro-inspired trends from last season have either remained the same or evolved into broader, preppy aesthetic. Fluid tailoring has received an update with a worn-out look, while the no-pants trend has transformed into boxer shorts trend. When it comes to new trends, expect to see cam shirts, transparent outerwear, stripes, visible waistbands, summer short shorts, leather pants, and a hooded aesthetic, among many others. Alright, before we dive into details, I want to mention that you can shop all the trends from the links in the description. I personally selected each item, so if you find something that you like and decide to make a purchase, you'll also be supporting the channel. Alright, without further ado, here are the biggest fashion trends for Spring-Summer 2025. The rising popularity of camp shirts can be attributed to the resurgence of retro and vintage-inspired fashion. Menswear designers are giving a nod to the iconic styles of the 1950s and 1960s. But it's not just retro nostalgia that's driving this trend. Camp shirts are perfect warm weather essentials, making them ideal for spring-summer collections. Not surprisingly, many designers steered away from last season's classic and formal styles and leaned into this laid-back, easy-breezy aesthetic. Camp shirts were a big highlight in the Gucci menswear collection. Creative director Sabato De Sarno had this unique vision to explore the intersection of city life and beach culture. Ocean and surfing-inspired looks came to life through coastal staples like camp shirts. Vibrant colors and infinite prints of surfers, dolphins, and hibiscus flowers captured the essence of summer and seaside adventures. Dolce & Gabbana also showcased camp shirts in a big way. Their designs featured summer-inspired decorative elements with intricate coral embroideries. Alongside the coastal motifs, the brand introduced a touch of retro nostalgia through their neat camp shirts, which also evoked a laid-back summer vacation feel. Camp shirts made a statement on the Fendi catwalk, styled in an unexpected way, layered over traditional button-up shirts, a look we don't often see. Some designs featured a functional twist with extra roomy pockets, while others were crafted from shearling. When it comes to Hermes, the brand focused on lightness, peace, and softness, which served as a core inspiration for the entire collection. The pink leather camp shirt showcased the brand's impeccable craftsmanship and the effort that goes into every piece. Short shorts in mass fashion have been gaining traction in recent years, especially as the industry evolves to embrace body positivity and confidence. As men become more comfortable showing skin, menswear designers are encouraging greater self-expression. Seems like summer 2025 is going to be the year of sexy menswear. Turns out the creative director of Gucci, Sabato De Sarno, has a special love for short shorts. He shares his passion with the actor Paul Mescal, soon to appear in Ridley Scott's Gladiator II. He is the official Gucci ambassador and a big advocate for men wearing short shorts. Discwear unveiled a sexy menswear collection inspired by male dancers, called Discwear Heat. Short shorts were crafted from leather and featured kinky details such as front lace-up fastening. Dolce & Gabbana short shorts this season were influenced by nostalgia. Their retro charm perfectly aligned with the collection theme that was inspired by Italian holidays and the golden summers of the 1950s. The designer skillfully infused modern elements into this nostalgic theme, with actor Marcello Mastroianni serving as the main reference point. With the rise of fitness and wellness culture, short shorts are becoming increasingly popular. Jonathan Anderson designed short shorts with a distinct athletic influence, embodying the active, health-conscious lifestyle while maintaining a stylish edge. Similar to J.W. Anderson, Neil Barrett designed short shorts with athletic influence. He experimented with fabric technology, mixing textures and materials like neoprene and high-tech synthetics. Neil Barrett's designs seamlessly blended classic tailoring with athletic elements, all while maintaining his signature touch of utilitarian minimalism. Fashion today is much less restricted by traditional gender norms, and short shorts reflect this growing freedom very well. This spirit was perfectly embodied by Berlin-based brand GmbH, where short shorts were actually inspired by practitioners of the martial art Muay Thai. The growing popularity of slouchy distress suits reflects a shift towards relaxed, non-traditional tailoring in mass fashion. This trend evolves from last season's fluid tailoring trend, but introduces worn-out elements and intentional imperfections, like creases, twists, or crumples. These distressed elements aligns with a broader trend of embracing imperfections and authenticity in fashion. Ed Maynor is always consistent with his work, which is often defined by exaggerated proportions. His suits were crafted with heavily crumpled and creased fabrics. These looks created a sense of ease, while maintaining a strong architectural silhouette. Prada slouchy suits featured worn-out details like creases and twists. They were purposefully creased and aged. These distressed elements underlined a sense of freedom and authenticity. Imperfection is another sign of living in reality, explained Raf Simons after the show. Bottega Veneta showcased suits that were heavily crumpled and creased. The concept here was all about childhood. It evokes the feeling of a child trying on their parents' clothes for the first time, a first playful encounter with fashion. The distress elements conveyed a sense of discovery, spontaneity, and authenticity. It's no secret that Yohji Yamamoto is a master of slouchy suits with a distinct Japanese influence. This season his suits were particularly slouchier, with a lot of deconstruction and asymmetries. His designs incorporated a lot of intricate details which usually can't be spotted at first glance. These details are what make his work truly special. Undercover slouchy suits reflected the brand's rebellious spirit while offering a relaxed, unorthodox take on traditional formal wear. These designs had a worn-out, distressed aesthetic with distorted elements and experimental cuts. Despite their streetwear-inspired, worn-out appearance, the suits showcase immense craftsmanship and intricate detailing, with each piece carrying an artisanal touch. Slouchy suits were everywhere in the Giorgio Armani collection. They resembled a modern evolution of his iconic soft tailoring. They were cut with relaxed and fluid silhouette and combined with deliberately worn-out imperfect aesthetic. Fashion trends are cyclical in nature, and crop tops are a perfect example of this. They rose to mainstream popularity in the 90s, faded out, and now have made a strong comeback. The main reason behind this revival is that men are becoming more comfortable with showing skin. They want to experiment more and seek greater self-expression through fashion. And playing with exposed midriffs is a good start. This trend also aligns with the larger body positivity movement in fashion, encouraging people to wear whatever makes them feel confident, regardless of societal norms about gender or body shapes. A surprisingly positive aspect of this trend is that it supports sustainability and the DIY spirit. Many fashion-conscious individuals are making crop tops by cutting old t-shirts, embracing upcycling, and reducing waste in fashion. In the Prada Spring-Summer collection, crop tops evoked a sense of freedom, youthful spontaneity, and a sense of rebellion. Exposed midriffs perfectly aligned with the collection theme, which was inspired by an interplay between outer parties and work. They captured the chaotic transition from an all-night parties to the nightmare of the morning after, when you realize you have to go to work. Loewe was yet another brand that showcased a wide range of crop tops. Jonathan Anderson aimed to create pieces that were artistic, innovative, and minimalistic. He came up with a new concept where he linked cropped polo shirts and pants with a double-circled belt that spiraled from the stomach to the hip. It created a garment that seemed both unified and divided. Much like Loewe, Balenciaga sent an army of cropped polo shirts down the runway. The set design was inspired by Demna's grandmother's table, where the designer discovered he was interested in clothes as a young boy in Georgia. Demna continued to explore midriff-bearing designs, this time with inflatable bomber jackets and low-rise denim pants. The design of the denim pants seemed to draw inspiration from classic biker pants. However, they had a striking resemblance to the G-Star's 5620 jeans. Even the square logo at the front resembled G-Star's famous branding on the back. Exposed midriffs have been a key element of D-Squared's aesthetic, especially this season's collection, which was particularly daring and skin-revealing. Cropped tank tops and low-rise skinny jeans embodied the brand's signature sexy and bold style. Last but not least, let's have a look at crop tops in the GmbH menswear collection, which was showcased in the brand's hometown, Berlin, for the first time. These looks reflected a unique blend of streetwear and high fashion, influenced by Berlin's underground nightlife and club scene. This season, designers are shaking things up once again with stripes. This resurgence reflects fashion's growing interest in both experimentation and the refinement of familiar patterns. Stripes, a timeless classic and staple in fashion for decades, have played a significant role in various subcultures. This time, designers have given stripes a contemporary twist by playing with proportions, directions, and color combinations. Prada designed striped long-sleeve tops with worn-out effects such as wrinkles and faded spots. The designers in this case wanted to capture a sense of youthful spontaneity and freedom. These looks reflected how interesting and unique choices can emerge if you don't overthink and be spontaneous and open-minded. Looking at Charles Jeffries' collection, stripes were everywhere. His looks underline the designer's love for punk culture and DIY aesthetic. The collection showcased a lot of deconstruction and repurposed garments. Many looks channeled a neo-grunge aesthetic, elevated with oversized beanies, the designer's #1 hit and breakout cult item. Stripes were a major highlight in Dolce & Gabbana's Spring-Summer collection. The designers drew inspiration from the retro fashion of 1950s. Stripes appeared in vertical, diagonal, and horizontal patterns across shirts, vests, and Bermuda shorts. Many designs featured a nautical influence, while others may have subtly referenced 1950s, like rockabilly and pin-up style. Fendi celebrated its 100th anniversary. It was like finally becoming a member of a historic, almost exclusive fashion club. This milestone inspired Silvia Fendi to reference various forms of club affiliation by designing striped football and rugby shirts and cricket sweaters. Yet another anniversary was celebrated by Massimo Giorgetti, whose brand just turned 15 and entered its teenage years. Stripes in the collection symbolize freedom, individuality, and rebellion. He may have also referenced various youth subcultures that he admired growing up, such as 90s skateboard and rave culture. Leather pants have seen a significant resurgence recently. The main reason for their renewed popularity is their timeless appeal. They have played a significant role in fashion across various eras and subcultures, symbolizing freedom, rebellion, and individuality. This season, many designers have recontextualized this iconic garment within contemporary fashion. Today, leather pants embody luxury, open-mindedness, and a forward-thinking attitude. Marine Sir unveiled classy airbrushed leather pants. Her designs featured the brand's iconic crescent moon motif, some of them as an all-over print and some of them as embossed detail. Marine experimented with bold colors like purple, crimson, and dark camel. Normally, she is committed to sustainability, so these leather pants may have been crafted from upcycled or eco-friendly leather. Jonathan Anderson explored the concept of irrational clothing in his latest collection for J.W. Anderson. Wide-leg leather pants were tucked into leather footwear that evoked a medieval boot style. Playful knitwear was designed to resemble various English architectural styles. These looks created a contrast between modern and historic elements. We had an off-duty biker look designed by Pharrell at Louis Vuitton, offering a laid-back yet luxurious aesthetic. Another one resembled an agent traveling undercover, exuding power, mystery, and luxury. Wales Banner designed black wide-leg leather pants. The London-based designer often delves into themes of black identity, history, and the interplay between European and African cultures. At D-Squared, leather pants served as a bold symbol of sexual freedom, self-expression, and identity. Some featured kinky details like front lace-up fastenings, while others were dramatically shredded. These looks embraced a fetish aesthetic and may have referenced gay underground culture of the 80s. Transparent outerwear has emerged as a refreshing trend on the spring-summer catwalks. The main appeal in designing transparent outerwear lies in the sensuality and elegance that sheer fabrics and see-through layers can offer. Additionally, it encourages designers to be more creative and to experiment with unconventional fabrics. Dries Van Notten's spring-summer collection was all about transparencies and visible layering. It marked the designer's last collection for his eponymous label. After nearly 38 years in the fashion industry, the Belgian designer has decided to retire. To celebrate this important milestone, he designed a truly uplifting collection that made everyone dream. Standout garments included organza pink trench coats and oversized pistachio tops. We also saw transparent parkas and trench coats where Dries incorporated unconventional fabrics like neoprene and a crinkled polyamide that resembled glass. Transparent outerwear was a big highlight in the Rick Owens spring-summer collection. He unveiled an army of transparent hooded tunics in creamy white. D-Squared, once again, grabs our attention. Looks like the brand's latest collection is perfectly in sync with current trends. Standout items included transparent jackets and trench coats, which may have been crafted from translucent leather. Transparent outerwear was a focal point in the Comme des Garçons Homme Plus collection. This season, Rei Kawakubo's unique vision of masculinity revolved around outerwear edged in transparent tulle. It was either stuffed with fabric to build silhouette or layered with garments seemingly crafted within. These looks reflected Rei Kawakubo's philosophy of deconstructing and reshaping traditional menswear. In her world, it's all about breaking down norms and challenging conventional ideas. Walter van Beirendonck, a member of the iconic Antwerp Six, is synonymous with avant-garde fashion that often carries political and social commentary. His latest collection featured a lot of transparent bomber jackets and blazers, designed in his signature vibrant and whimsical aesthetic. These designs drew inspiration from clowns, symbolizing the duality of joy and melancholy. It was his take on the tough times that we are living in, which require us to remain positive despite challenges. Transparent outerwear was a garment of interest at Dolce & Gabbana. The Italian designer showcased their expertise in craftsmanship by introducing a weaving technique reminiscent of crochet, using materials like raffia and leather. This technique added an unmistakable touch of Italian craftsmanship to each piece. The exposed underwear is a playful and rebellious trend. It has resurfaced across different eras, like in the 90s and early 2000s. It's often referred to as a peekaboo boxers and involves intentionally showing the waistband above the waistline of pants, typically achieved with low-rise or sagging pants. This trend initially gained major traction in the 90s, particularly within hip-hop and streetwear culture. It evolved in the early 2000s with more playful and mainstream appeal, especially in women's fashion. This season, designers have begun to redefine and elevate this look within the context of contemporary fashion. Peekaboo boxers were a big highlight in the MSGM menswear collection. These looks may have referenced 90s skate and street culture, which the creative director Massimo Giorgio might have been influenced by growing up. Wetmore's Guram Gvasalia embraced an exposed underwear aesthetic. His designs conveyed the message that overproduced luxury is a thing of the past. Instead, Guram promoted a DIY mindset, encouraging us to rework, repurpose, and create meaning through personal expression. Yet another brand experimenting with peekaboo boxers is Rude, the LA-based fashion label founded by Luigi Villaseñor. The designer likes to blend luxury streetwear with sportswear aesthetic. His style is also influenced by classic American themes like vintage motorcycles, cars, and rock and roll culture. Sakai recreated the peekaboo boxer aesthetic by using a detachable waistband with the brand's logo, mimicking the look of real boxer shorts. This design element conveyed a sense of freedom and rebellion, which aligned with the collection's inspiration, James Dean, the iconic American actor known for his rebellious image, who tragically died very young in a car crash. Neckties remain a strong fashion trend, and looks like they are not going anywhere anytime soon. This classic accessory was a key trend last season, driven by designers' obsession with masculine coats and classic dressing. The main shift this season is that designers are incorporating neckties into more preppy and casual styles. Today, the shirt and tie combination is no longer limited to suits and formal wear. Fendi incorporated neckties in almost every look. The entire collection was heavily influenced by preppy style. Silvia Fendi reinvented the classic aesthetic with the brand's signature elegance and contemporary details. By doing so, she aimed to celebrate Fendi's 100th anniversary and convey multiple messages about the past, present, and the future of the house through her designs. Marine Sir was particularly drawn to neckties this season. In her spring-summer collection, she redefined traditional formal wear and gave it a streetwear edge. Her looks incorporated bold color combinations like black and red and black and crimson. Pharrell played with shirt and tie combinations to enhance his signature dandy aesthetic. He skillfully blended Louis Vuitton's rich heritage and craftsmanship with his fresh, streetwear-inspired vision. Many looks showcased a unique high-low aesthetic, where classic neckties and formal wear were contrasted with casual garments. Shirt and tie also resonated strongly with Adrian Apiolaza, the new creative director of Moschino. His designs were perfectly aligned with the brand's core values like playful irony, freedom of expression, and pop art elements. At Kid Super, shirt and tie combinations were used to balance out the collection's highly artistic and maximalist looks and give it an elegant edge. The show had an interesting narrative, imagining fashion as a circus, which was reflected in the models, who resembled puppets with a hint of clown. The preppy aesthetic continues to influence modern fashion, and knitwears are a key element of the style. Their popularity and widespread appeal lie in their ability to blend retro nostalgia and contemporary fashion. This season, menswear designers have reinvented the classic knitwears for a modern audience. A good example is Dior's Spring-Summer collection, where knitwears were given an interesting twist. Some looks had a poetic and artistic feel, while others conveyed a sense of ease and outdoorsy vibes. These knitwears were elevated with brooches and prints. Created and designed in collaboration with South African ceramist Hilton Nell, whom Kim Jones admires very much. Fendi's menswear collection offered a fresh spin on the preppy academic style. Sylvia Fendi reinterpreted classic knitwears through the lens of modern fashion. Pharrell, on the other hand, fused preppy and aviation style. He paired knitwears with aviation flight suits. Hermes reinvented classic knitwears with subtle, modern touches. In these looks, Veronique Nishanian brought out an effortless masculinity that appeals to modern men. The emphasis is on ease and simplicity, yet each piece feels refined and elegant. Loewe was all about innovation this season. Jonathan Anderson introduced one-piece garment where he seamlessly merged knitted vest with wide-leg pleated pants. Others were knitted in metal, resembling vests made from metal watch straps. Neil Barrett reimagined knit vests with modern details like a double hem, adding a fresh twist to the classic piece. His looks showcase the designer's unmistakable style, characterized by utilitarian minimalism and the use of innovative fabrics. Last but not least, MSGM showcased graphic knit vests. These looks reference 90s skate culture and style. Plaid is a timeless pattern that never truly goes out of style. It has evolved over time, finding its way into various styles, ranging from preppy aesthetic to grunge and streetwear. Its fashion history makes it a favorite choice for designers. It also offers opportunities for fresh reinterpretations. Anyways, from tartan and gingham to grid and checks, plaid patterns were everywhere on the catwalks. Loewe showcased innovative designs that embraced minimalism and artistic mindset. Shirts in gingham were crafted in the shape of skirts, while wide-leg pleated pants were enhanced with plaid fabric, which was wrapped and fastened at the waist, reminiscent of how ancient Romans draped their cloaks. Craig Green, the London-based designer, is dealing with the loss of his father, and these looks reflected his emotional state. He explored the complex dynamics between sons and fathers, and the dual expectations that often accompany these relationships. In the Fendi Spring-Summer collection, plaids were a prominent feature, aligning seamlessly with the preppy style that defined the collection's theme. Another source of inspiration for the plaid designs came from a photo of the Italian national football team, taken at the airport in the 80s. Plaids at Louis Vuitton had a special meaning. Pharrell utilizes patterns to promote freedom, inclusivity, and a sense of community. Louis Vuitton collaborated with Air Afrique Collective, a Paris-based cultural group that supports artists throughout the African diaspora. Blue and green checksuits were inspired by a pattern used in luggage created for Air Afrique airline that operated between 1961 and 2002. Last but not least, Kid Super showcased its signature playful and almost childlike designs. The collection featured plaid shirts with beautiful, hand-drawn graphics and various illustrations. Polo shirts have been trending over the past few seasons, and looks like they are here to stay. Over the decades, polo shirts has been adapted to numerous aesthetics, from preppy and sporty to streetwear. This rich history allows designers to play with traditions and offers opportunities for different reinterpretations through the lens of contemporary fashion. Polo shirts were the biggest highlight in the Dolce & Gabbana menswear collection. Italian designers crafted polo shirts with special weaving technique, using materials like raffia and leather. They also unveiled a range of retro-inspired polo shirts that reference Italian holidays and the golden summers of the 1950s. These looks reminded me the Netflix TV show Ripley, which is also set in 1950s Italy. Gucci reinvented polo shirts in electric colors and transparent mesh. These looks captured an interplay between city life, museum culture, and coastal adventures. The collection also featured oversized, striped polos with a fuzzy texture reminiscent of plush rugs. Craig Green designed double-layered polo shirts. He structured the silhouette using numerous leather belts of varying widths and textures. These designs pay tribute to his recently deceased father, possibly reflecting the manly activities they shared during the designer's childhood, like fixing a car or playing sports. Prada polo shirts convey the message of freedom and youthful spontaneity. These polo shirt cardigan combos, although appearing as two separate pieces, are actually a single garment. This illusion is created by using contrasting colors, subtle texture variations, and strategic button alignment. Zegna polo shirts pay tribute to the Italian elegance of the 1960s. Some polos maintained classic simplicity, while others made a bold statement with the introduction of prints. Zegna collaborated with young artists to create abstract botanical motifs inspired by OSC Zegna. The no-pants trend has a new face and name: boxer shorts. It involves wearing underwear as outerwear in the form of standalone shorts. Designers borrowed this trend from women's wear. This summer, social media feeds were filled with images of female celebrities sporting men's boxers, and now designers have taken this concept and adapted it to menswear. Charles Jeffries sent an army of models down the runway in underwear. His boxer shorts featured playful details such as medieval scalloped edges. The designer celebrated individuality, gender fluidity, and the freedom of expression. His collection was like a joyful rebellion against mainstream fashion norms. Root, the brand known for its LA-inspired, edgy and effortlessly cool style, also incorporated boxer shorts into its spring-summer collection. These looks were deeply grounded in reality, evoking the vibe of early mornings when you've just woken up and heading out to buy coffee. Whalespana reinvented swimming briefs for her spring-summer collection. Her looks had a gender-neutral and unisex appeal with retro charm. Like many brands this season, Whalespana collaborated with Adidas. This partnership aligned seamlessly with her culturally informed vision, featuring retro-inspired sportswear infused with Afro-Atlantic aesthetics. Workwear has surged in popularity in recent years, mostly due to its versatility and ability to blend practicality with style. Menswear designers are particularly drawn to reinterpreting traditional workwear through the lens of streetwear and high fashion. It allows them to explore new creative avenues. Today, traditional workwear is being elevated with modern elements, innovative silhouettes, and high-end materials. This growing trend has also inspired many brands to collaborate with iconic workwear names like Carhartt, Levi's, and Timberland. This season, Dior softened and elevated rugged workwear with its high-end fabrics and craftsmanship. Kim Jones explored workwear through utility overshirts, chore jackets, and functional multi-pocketed outerwear. He also designed special workwear-inspired high-color suits that borrowed 3 pockets from the utility world. While the collection was rich in functional, workwear-inspired designs, it also conveyed a poetic feel. It was coupled with a sense of ease, freedom, and a deep appreciation for the great outdoors. Ed Maynard loves to incorporate elements of workwear into his designs. He blends the practicality and functionality of workwear with his signature oversized aesthetic. This season, Maynard integrated utility vests with extra roomy pockets into deconstructed blazers and coats, creating super interesting hybrid of workwear and formal wear. Pharrell elevated Louis Vuitton's impeccable tailoring and luxurious fabrics with a sense of practicality, which aligned perfectly with Louis Vuitton's spirit of travel. He structured the collection around different archetypal codes of travel. By using workwear, he reimagined the attire of explorers who appreciate practicality and versatility. These adventurous travelers were dressed in workwear jackets, utility-inspired suits, and vests. Prada loves to design clothes that serves a functional purpose beyond mere aesthetics. This season, Prada and Simmons explored workwear through jumpsuits. These looks were executed in muted tones in manly aesthetic, featuring leather jackets and roomy handbags. Other looks projected a more youthful energy, with playful colors and bold details. Hermès explored workwear through outerwear that embodied the brand's timeless elegance and Parisian sophistication. Hermès outerwear carried subtle references to workwear while maintaining a clean, polished appearance. They were inspired by utilitarian designs and featured functional details like pockets and adjustable strings. The urban wizard trend is centered around the idea of wearing hooded garments as a fashion statement. With hoods as a focal point, this trend introduces a mysterious look. Whether it's oversized hoodies, cloaks, or capes, the hood is always worn up. Beyond style, this trend can also offer the practical benefit like privacy and protection. Hooded outerwear at Issey Miyake was lightweight, comfortable, and created to move with the wearer, emphasizing freedom and flexibility. These looks were inspired by wind and featured draped fabrics and flowing silhouettes, reminiscent of a wizard's cloak. Some designs showcase broad, wing-like shoulders, resembling skydive suit, while others drew inspiration from kite construction. Jun Jae, the South Korean designer, renowned for its exaggerated silhouettes and futuristic aesthetic, presented a striking array of hooded garments in his latest collection. Classic hoodies were reimagined in larger proportions, with massive shoulders. His designs felt futuristic, yet deeply grounded in reality. Rick Owens unveiled an army of white wizards at Plaid, Tokyo. Hooded transparent kaftans exuded a sense of otherworldliness, with benevolent aura. Other looks featured hooded tops and spiky shouldered cloaks, evoking a aesthetic of an angel. The collection was titled Hollywood, and it served as a personal reflection on Rick Owens' life journey. Hollywood Boulevard is where the designer created himself, found complete freedom, and discovered his courage. Hoods were a big highlight in the Kenzo Spring-Summer collection. The creative director Nigo showcased his sick show for the Parisian fashion house. His designs carried a military influence, featuring double-zipped mesh hoodies that seemed to reference camouflage netting. Some of these hoodies were fully fastened closed and worn under sunglasses to disguise the wearer's face. Last but not least, GmbH designed beautiful hooded garments that embodied the dynamic energy of the brand's hometown, Berlin. Big highlight was hooded tailoring, where the designers reinvented traditional suits with spacious hoods. This unique twist added a mysterious and futuristic feel to these designs. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and got something out of it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.